Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with Rethink Coaching.
Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, episode number 77. I'm Tony Caliendo, Master Coach here at Rethink Coaching. And as always, I just want to start by saying thank you for being here. Time is our greatest asset, and the fact that you're willing to share your time with me does not go unnoticed. I appreciate you being here. And as always, my commitment to you is to make it a really good investment of your time. So thanks for being here. What I want to talk about today is something that I've noticed as I'm speaking to groups across the country and I'm speaking to our group coaching programs, is that there is an energy out there right now that is closer to an energy of scarcity versus the energy and feeling of abundance. And you could chalk it up to a lot of things. You could say, well, it's the political climate, it's what's happening in our financial world, it's what's happening in the world overall. And yes, those are all things that can influence how you're showing up. And does it matter? Yes, external circumstances do have an impact on us. Yet I want to talk about you and how you can navigate this, because my personal belief, and this has been experienced with so many of my clients last year, that, economically 2024 was a major challenge for our real estate industry. In fact, there's a statistic, and I've looked it up several times, and it seems to be true. Over 72% or 76%, depending on the source, of real estate agents had zero transactions in 2024. Yet the clients that I have the privilege of coaching have had some of their best years they've ever had. And so I just want to make it clear my thoughts, my philosophy, the lovely humans that I have the opportunity to coach one-on-one, we all held the space that we got to make the market didn't make us. And a big part of the success that was experienced by the clients that I work with was because we chose that thought pattern. We chose that thought strategy. We chose that mindset to stay in a space of abundance. Now, was it easy? No, it wasn't. There was a lot of moving parts last year. And I say that, and I almost laugh to myself and say, when hasn't there been a lot of moving parts in our industries? And especially as entrepreneurs, self-employed salespeople, really, has there been a year where things are just magic? I mean, other than when COVID was going on and we slid into this order taker role, honestly, every year's got a lot of stuff that's happening. So what made 2024 special really was just the way in which you chose to approach it. And so if you're looking to make things better or different in 2025, as we're really going through pretty quickly here, is for you to make a choice. How do I want to show up? Do I want to show up with the scarce mindset, or do I want to show up with an abundant mindset? Because that is going to set the tone and set the pace for your success or lack of success. So first of all, scarcity, if you're approaching your business in a space of a scarcity mindset, what that might look like is that you're focused more on lack than abundance. Clearly, you're focused on what we don't have, the lack of things. You focus more on the competition. You look at some of these larger organizations, or you look at some of these large teams, you're like, well, my gosh, they're getting all the business, right? You tend to put your focus on what others are doing and how successful those other people are versus your opportunity for success and your opportunity to move forward. The other part of having a mindset of scarcity, that's probably the heavy hitter of this group, is to have a thought pattern or a mindset of fear. And I've seen it happen, and I am watching it happen right now, that some people buy into other people's stories, buy into incorrect data that's out there and run with it and make it their story. And then it just spins, if we take just the like one example right now is about interest rates. There's all this talk about there's not going to be any changes for 2025. Now, is that a potential truth? Yes. But what it might do to you is have you create the mindset of, oh my gosh, if we don't have any interest rate adjustments, it's going to be really hard for people to buy or to sell. And we're not going to have any business. And I'm probably going to go broke. And I'm not going to have a good year. And I'm going to have a worse year than I had last year. That scarcity mindset, when you're focused on the fear elements of just a fact, can create the space of scarcity because interest rates are what they are. It's just part of what is going on in our economy right now and what needs to happen to keep us out of a bigger or a full-blown recession is happening right now with interest rates. So that type of thinking, fear-based thinking, where you buy in or you hold on to things that other people are saying or that you've read and interpreted the way you want to interpret, and you go down this bunny trail of absolute panic and fear, that will lend to a scarcity mindset. Now, if you have an abundant mindset, right, where you're more open to thinking about things in a different light than scarcity, it really is that mindset that you would have would be characterized by openness, collaboration, and opportunities for growth. And I think this is really important to spend a moment talking about. And we're going to talk about collaboration a little bit later in greater detail. But honestly, having an open mind about what's possible versus what's not possible is probably the key to keeping in a space of abundance. So the clients that I work with, I always, when they tell me, nobody's doing anything, whether it's in real estate or the other industries that we coach in, I always question them and say, let's look at the data. Is there really no data about anybody doing anything at all? And chances are it's just that stuff is happening. It's just not happening with them. So to open up their minds to the potential of abundance, we sometimes have to look at our competition. And I want to be really, really clear about this. I love looking at the competition from a space of what's possible. So if my competition is crushing it, I don't look at that as, oh my gosh, they're killing it. They're going to wipe me out. They're taking all of my business. I like for us to look at that as, holy cow, if they can do that, so can I. If they can have those numbers, that means that there are people out buying and selling and entering transactions and buying our products or using our services. So that is the headspace to be in from an abundant perspective. Scarcity would be like looking at competition, like, oh my gosh, they've got all the business. Again, I love to look at competition through the lens of, if somebody is outperforming me, that means one thing: I've got more potential and things are possible for me. And so that's how I like to look at it. The other thing, the second thing that you could do, so number one is just understand the difference in how you're showing up. Are you in a scarce place or are you in an abundant place? Number two is cultivating gratitude. We've talked about this a lot in several episodes that I've put together for you guys, is, practicing daily gratitude. It's a huge piece of keeping you in a space of abundance. I was listening to a really interesting podcast the other day, and this has really stuck with me, and I've started implementing it in my practices. And you want to express gratitude for everything you have. I mean, if I just sat here for 3 minutes and went through a list of things that I'm grateful for just surrounding me, I'm grateful for technology that allows me to do this podcast. I'm grateful for this incredible microphone that I was able to buy. I'm grateful for this great 4K camera that I was able to get that's no longer thousands of dollars. I could spend time just really going through what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful to be breathing. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for an incredible spouse. I'm grateful for, just go through that list of what you're grateful for. It shifts your energy. But the new practice that I heard, which I think was a great way of talking about, living into your future or your compelling future, is being grateful for things that you don't have yet as if you already had them. And so, if just an example, having a new home is on your list of things. If you started expressing gratitude for it today, it will expedite it showing up in your world. That's just how it works. And so to be able to express gratitude for things that you don't quite have yet is a really cool way of just putting it into the future as if it's already happened, and energetically can create the space to be much shorter between where you are and actually having it. So I love practicing gratitude daily because that is a way to get into an abundant mindset. So if you find yourself spiraling into a scarcity mindset and that negative energy, just take a minute, express gratitude. It is neurologically impossible to be in a negative space while you're expressing gratitude. It is the quickest shifter of where we are that is available to you. So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And sharing that gratitude with your clients or your colleagues or your family is another great way of helping those around you also be in a space of abundance. Because if you're in an abundant mindset, but your immediate front row, as I like to call it, your 5 friends that are there to cheer you on, are half of them are in a scarce mindset and half are in an abundant mindset, the scarce mindsets are going to pull you down. And so when you can start sharing gratitude and have people share it back with you, you're really self-insulating and creating the space of abundant thinking for your entire group. So practice that. I promise you, it's really, really powerful. The other thing that we don't do enough to stay in the positive or the abundant mindset world is, and this goes along with gratitude, is really celebrating the small wins. And that within itself will foster a sense of abundance in your world. A couple small wins for me today. I met with an agent, and it was just an incredible conversation. And I'm so grateful for that. That's a huge win for me. That is a big thing. Another win that I had today that was a little win is I just talked to one of my partners that we're going to be doing a presentation together. And we just did a quick really outline of how the 30 minutes we're going to have together is going to go. And to me, that's celebrating a win. It's a small win because we haven't done it yet. Don't know if it's, going to be exactly how we want it to be yet. Taking a moment to acknowledge that I spent that 20 minutes with Brian and we were able to work through some things and position ourselves to provide great quality to other people is a little win. But that little win is moving me into an abundant mindset. So the big win of the agent and the small win of the preparing, that is, both of those are going to move me into an abundant space. So daily gratitude and celebrating the little wins will move you in there. The number 3 thing that I would encourage you to do is to embrace collaboration over competition. And I'm really blessed here in Santa Fe. I am privileged to know an incredible person by the name of Bunny Terry. She's a really successful broker here in Santa Fe. And she puts on a collaboration event for all the brokers in Santa Fe are welcome to come. And that is a time where we just collaborate. We share what's working. We share good ideas. We talk about the possibility. We talk about things that are happening in the market from a positive perspective. But what it is a group of what from the outside would look like competitors coming together and collaborating. Because if you move into the space of there really is enough business for everybody out there. And, I've got my database, you've got your database, you've got your database. We're not going to be stealing from each other. And if we move into the mindset of let's network together and collaborate, I promise you that will move you into an abundant mindset so much quicker than if you took a step back. You're like, I'm not going to that collaboration meeting. There's no way I'm sharing my secrets, because if I share my secret, what if that person gets a listing that I should have got? Well, the chances are of you going on that same listing appointment might be smaller than you think, but the win of sharing and working with people outweighs that risk. The risk is really pretty minimal. So I love networking opportunities in terms of approaching things from collaboration versus or over competition, and collaborating what you're perceived with, who your perceived competition is is really a great way to move into an abundant mindset. So I love that. And then sharing resources, that's part of the collaboration, right? You're sharing, hey, I got this great guy that does this. I've got a great stager who can help with this. Because if I'm supporting you in your journey forward, I have nothing but great things. Good energy is going to come from that. Same, you're going to share back with me. And there's an old adage, right? You give, you get. That's not the reason we collaborate, but I've watched it happen. I've watched it happen where somebody who was struggling a little bit showed up from a place of contribution, shared great information with somebody that helped them succeed. And sure enough, in a very short amount of time, they got something back that helped them succeed. So take some time to collaborate over competition. It's a beautiful thing and a great way to move into an abundant mindset. Number 4, just reframe the challenges as opportunities. We're going to stub our toe a little bit. We're going to have some setbacks. It's just how it goes. You can't win everything. You just can't. And if you did, I know this is going to sound crazy, but it would be boring. It's like saying, I'm never going to experience sadness again. I'm only going to experience happiness. Well, without sadness, I don't really know what happiness is. So same thing for this is without there being some setbacks, I really can't glean when things are going super, super great. So look at some of the setbacks as great opportunities to appreciate what you have done. Also, as I talked about in podcast episode number 76, the one just last week, there's so much value in the setbacks or in the failure or in the loss. And just really look at it as an opportunity to learn from it, grow from it, and innovate from it. That is a tremendous way to reframe those challenges and opportunities. I say this all the time. If you failed or if you had a setback, that means you were doing something. You're actually in action. So if you took a look at that and learned from it and grew from it and innovated from it, that's how we're going to move into an abundant mindset versus sitting and wallowing in the setback of, oh my God, it didn't work. I'm never going to be able to have another client again. I was dependent upon this one 100%. And that's staying in a really bad space of scarcity mindset when you do that with any setback you're experiencing. So take some time to look at the setbacks as a win and extract from it the things that you can learn and grow and move forward in your business. The other part of challenges as opportunities is really keeping yourself in a growth mindset and see those challenges that you're experiencing as an opportunity for future success. So what do I mean by that? I've had the privilege of being a licensed real estate agent since 2001. And during that time, which has been a very long time now, 24 years, I've experienced a lot of changes in our market. And we're experiencing changes right now in our market. And what I know is that there, at different times throughout my career, and the same thing is applying to me as a coach, and I've been a full-time coach for 14 years, is that things come up that I wasn't sure how I was going to handle, both in sales and in coaching. So what do? You can either stay with this closed mindset, or you can open up your mind and say, where could I go get some additional training on this? Where could I go learn from someone how to navigate this current situation I'm in that I've never experienced before? That's a growth mindset. That's being proactive. That's taking a step towards moving your business forward and winning again. So that growth mindset is really important. A fixed or closed mindset is really dangerous. And that's how you move into a scarcity. It's like, well, I don't know what to do. I've never experienced this before. This isn't my fault that I don't know. And we clam up and we shut down and we move into a scarcity place. So if there's a skill set that you don't have that you're recognizing that you need to have right now to get through the changing market that you're in, go take a class, go hire a coach, go talk to a mentor. Find some way to learn how to move forward. And the last thing, number 5, is just visualization and affirmations are a great way to stay in a abundant versus scarcity mindset. So we talked a little bit about this earlier about gratitude, right? If you if you're expressing gratitude for something you don't have yet, that's a great visualization exercise because it allows you to visualize your goal and your success in a way that your mind is processing it, that you already have it. And when you visualize it, you get a whole release of dopamine, you get a whole release of hormones that make you feel good. And the brain doesn't really know, did this really happen or did it not? So when you put yourself in a place of a visualization that it's already done, that you've achieved it, that you're experiencing all of the feel goods that are going to come along with that success, that is a great way to move or to stay in a space of abundance. And then the last thing is affirmations for abundance. And you know how I feel about affirmations. I like them as long as we're congruent and our beliefs are in alignment with it. Because if they're not, your mind's going to go, hey, you know what? That's really cute that you've got that affirmation, but I don't really think it's going to happen. And so you can say it all you want, but it's not going to work. So affirmations for abundance, 1000% work as long as your beliefs are in alignment with it. And if you do the 4 other steps that I talked about, you're going to be in the space of affirmations working for you. You know, I go to this great yoga studio in the mornings. I go Thursday through Monday, and it's hot yoga. And what I love about this, the person who owns this studio and all of her yoga instructors really have such a commitment to your mindset. If you've ever done yoga, and this is hot yoga where the room's 105 degrees, it really is a whole mindset game. It's just you and the mat, and you're listening to the different positions you need to take. But what I love about what they do is they help you with affirmations. You know, Chase, the guy that did the class today, I think it was today or it might have been yesterday, he did both, was, you know, on your breath in, say, I am worthy of, and on your breath out, say what you're worthy of. So I am worthy of abundant success. I am worthy of financial freedom, whatever it is. To me, those are really powerful affirmations. And I love connecting it to our breath. And so that is a great way to have an affirmation work. So all through the hour-long session that we were together, when he would give the instruction to take a deep breath in, my brain automatically went to the affirmation, I am worthy of. And on the exhale, I was able to say what that was for me, which was really personal. And in doing that, it was yesterday, in doing that, I believe that call with my agent today happened because I set that affirmation. So affirmations for abundance really can work for you in the right setting. As long as you've done the other 4 steps that I talked about, you'll be golden. So those are the 5 things that I'd recommend for you if you feel yourself wandering into a mindset of scarcity, which, let's be honest, right now with all of the moving parts, has become a little bit easier to do. And if you really do have an intention of having 2025 be your best year yet, not your best year, just the best year that you've experienced yet, then this is where you need to place yourself. It is why my clients did so well in the most challenging market that we've had since the early 90s, is because as their coach, I took a stand for staying in a place of abundance, not scarcity. Never let them buy into it. Yes, we had our moments. Yes, we had to have our conversations, but everybody who worked with me stayed in that space. So in summary, to stay abundant versus scarcity, number 1, you really, truly, truly want to position yourself to be ready to understand what's the difference. Am I in a scarce mindset or am I in an abundant mindset? Know the difference. So if I'm focused on lack, competition, and fear, I'm in scarcity. If I'm focused on abundance and possibility and collaboration and opportunity, I'm clearly in an abundant mindset. Number 2, cultivating gratitude. The daily practice of gratitude multiple times throughout the day will position you in a place, completely different mindset. And then remember, I talked about projecting your gratitude for something you don't have yet is a great brain hack to keep you in a space of gratitude and positivity. And Celebrate the small wins. Number 3, collaboration over competition. Cannot stress that enough. In a time where you're feeling a place of scarcity, go get with your peers and make it a place that it's safe to talk, and it's a place that you can collaborate and share and learn from each other. Number 4, reframe those challenges as opportunities. That's probably the biggest thing that you can do is look at those setbacks, look at those failures, and just reframe them as abundant opportunity is there, and be proud of the fact, like celebrating the little win, just be proud of the fact that you took action that caused a setback, or you took action that caused a failure. That will help. Stay in a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. So if you're struggling with something and you're having a lot of failures and setbacks, and it's something that you've never done before, go hire a coach, go take a group coaching program, go to your mentor, have the conversation and learn. Number 5, visualize and affirm. That is a great way. The visualization ties into the gratitude, being grateful for things you don't have yet. It allows you to visualize and get all the feel goods of it as if it's already happened. And then lastly, affirmations for abundance. You absolutely can create affirmations for abundance, and they work. Team, I hope it helps you out. I want you to stay really focused. I want you to stay in a place of abundance this year, every single day. If you feel yourself sliding, go back to these 5 steps that you can do to pull yourself out of it and move into an abundant space. I promise you, it will be one of the things that allows you to have an amazing 2025 and move towards those goals. As always, if you need me, please reach out, Tony@rethinkcoaching.com. Go to our website, rethinkcoaching.com, and there is a little pop-up box that you fill out your information, and you get a free 1-hour strategy session with me. I'll be the one who answers that email, so never hesitate. Always reach out if you need something. This is one of the key things that will separate you from the pack for 2025 and beyond, if you choose to stay in a space of abundance versus scarcity. Thanks so much, team. I'll talk to you in a week. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.